Hello and welcome back, everybody, to round 6 of the Eternal Tournament series. I'm Bearjus, this is Vavail here casting with me, and we are going to see Aryth versus Smoonay for the last game. We actually only have a single player's perspective cam right now, so we're going to call this one Getting into the Mind of the Player. We're going to become the Smoonay.
Sure, that's a good cover up. But yeah, so we are blind to Aryth's hand, unfortunately. But
unfortunately, we are blind to his hand. We do know he is playing Stonescar Burn. That much we can confirm. So we're going to see some red and black sigils coming down.
Yeah, that's fair. And then, Smoonay can't. Oh, no, he has a second Seek power, so he's going to have all his colors. That's fine.
Yeah, he has a second Seek. He actually did keep he kept a fairly interesting hand with one power double Seek power. He opted to actually keep that instead of redrawing. So, I mean, given that he had 2 Vanquishes and the Stronghold Visage and the Desert Marshal, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, was that really in consideration to redraw? That's fine. It's a 3-lander.
It kind of is. It depends on how slow your game is, because if you're stuck on these early turns casting these Seek powers when you need to be reacting, it could be bad. It depends on what Aryth is playing in his burn.
I feel like if he knows the deck list, so with Stonescar Burn, it's very important to be able to answer Impending Doom and which his hand did, and it did so easily. He had the 2 drops that answer it. Like Argenport Instigator is the only card I could think of that would like punish this hand. But
yeah,
it's coming down on turn 4 instead of turn 2.
Yeah, we're seeing some power issues right here. The fact that Aryth hasn't played anything relevant except for that Arjun. Well, no, did he Caleb's favor in that same turn? Yeah, okay. He Caleb's favored, which is why he didn't have an extra. He couldn't play a 4-drop.
Yeah, he Caleb's favored on turn 3. He had 2 flat.
Did he? Okay, if he Caleb's favor on turn 3, then I guess he just had nothing to play for 4, which is kind of telling. It either means he has a lot of sigils or a lot of high cost minions. Like he probably has some Umber Reapers, like a Soulfire Drake floating around.
Could also have Flame Blast, Obliterates, and those type of cards, or Annihilates as well.
Yeah, more of his burn. Like the Torch wouldn't have been useful until before now, because the 2/5 obviously was in the way.
Ooh, Levitates in this deck. That's interesting. I assume Levitate is mostly there just to pop Aegis and cycle.
Yeah, probably there exactly for that. Yeah, popping Aegises and then cycling, and on occasion it can sneak some damage through. Like maybe you just need to sneak something through really quick. But yeah, mostly there for popping Aegis, and then obviously, like you said, cycling a card's pretty nice. Playing any control deck, want to see more cards.
The deck building cost is fairly low for Levitate.
I wonder. Is this a quick draw here? This is going to be a nice 2-for-1. No, unfortunately not. Still will be a 2-for-1 with the Torch though.
No, it's 2-for-2.
Or yeah, 2-for-2. Yeah, of course. I never count the combat trick. It's so weird that I don't, because it is obviously.
Yeah, it's the building block of it, but not a big deal. I was hoping. I guess Rapid Shot's pretty fringe in Stonescar Burn though. I honestly, again, we're in the blind to his deck list as well. Thanks to Aryth's stream feed not being up, but
I actually would disagree. I don't think Rapid Shot's too fringy. I think Rapid Shot's really great.
I think it's a great card, but like I said, they go through combat with Champion. Well, it's very good with Champion of Chaos, but Impending Doom and Umber Reaper are not amazing with Rapid Shot.
But then sometimes it's just a 4 damage Torch. Like
I suppose I don't know. It's just, you can get locked out of using it through combat.
Yeah, you definitely can. Like it's certainly worse than Torch by all accounts.
All right. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, this is one of the major issues with Soulfire Drake as a card. How vulnerable it is to Desert Marshal.
Desert Marshal lines up way too good with it. 2 mana, 2/1 silence on the 5/2.
Yeah. It's gross. And then another Desert Marshal, but I mean the Wasp can trade with the 3/5 until he's just set up so perfectly, because he's just in his little den with his Marshals and his Wasp waiting.
Yep, and there's the Umbran we figured was coming out, so that's just gonna get Desert Marshal away.
Yeah, and Desert Marshal, man. It's just not a realistic card sometimes. It's so good. Yeah, I think you just run out the Marshal, right? Marshal plus Seraph, that's fine.
Yeah, Marshal plus Seraph is.
Well, you can eat the 5/1 on combat. To be fair, there's no punishment. He doesn't need to do it now. It's also a bit deceptive because he already had 2 Desert Marshals, so the odds of him having the 3rd one have gone down.
Nah, man, they always have Desert Marshal.
I mean, they always have it, but they always have everything.
Anytime you got Umber Reaper, man.
Yeah, it's a rule of card games, though. They always have it until they never have it, and then you win. So, but he had it this time, so.
But he did have it this time. So, yeah, it happens. Yeah. We'll see if he has a follow up. Maybe he has a second Umber Reaper. I mean, he spent his first 4 turns essentially playing like nothing.
Yeah, he could be obliterating the Seraph as well.
Okay,
second Umber Reaper. Yeah,
Yep.
Vanquish fodder, but not bad Vanquish fodder.
No, it's not bad. And I mean, maybe that's Aryth's game plan. It's like I'm gonna try and cast a bunch of Umber Reapers. I
Yeah,
wonder if his list is playing Dark Returns.
probably not. Dark Return is more of like a synergy card.
Yeah, that's another one I actually really like though. I play Dark Return in
Really don't like
Sunscar
this.
Burn all the time.
Really don't like this combat healer. The not playing it, I would play it, but I like the 3 on the Seraph to play around Obliterate.
Yeah, I could see that. Like playing around it. It still would die to Flame Blast since Aryth had mana. Obviously, he wouldn't be able to cast it this turn.
Yeah,
But
you could just go like untapped. Yeah, see, look at this.
oh, yeah, but he doesn't go for it. He goes straight to the face.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna work out. There's a Stronghold Visage.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Well, Stronghold Visage gains him 2 life, so he goes to 12. Suppose he has double Flame Blast in hand. Like that's 14.
Sure. Does he actually have double Flame Blast though?
I'm gonna go with no.
Yeah.
But it would be nice. Like we can dream.
Yeah, but instead, see that Obliterate's more of like a frustration Obliterate than anything. It's like, damn it. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I would just kill the Seraph. I guess you're not really playing that game, but all right.
Yeah.
Well, Doom gets picked off. Then we're on our way towards our Mystic Ascendant.
Yeah, Mystic Ascendant's gonna be. I mean the nail's kind of already in the coffin. Like we can't see Aryth's hand, obviously. So like double Flame Blast is still an out at any point. But
Yeah, it's really the
not
power.
looking good.
It's the power of Stronghold Visage. If it wasn't for Stronghold Visage, you'd be like, yeah, just run or burn spells. But now it's like he has such a small window to win the game.
Okay, so I definitely am like looking at this, and Aryth is taking such a long time to consider that I'm speculating that card is Flame Blast. Like I think he's trying to figure out whether he fires it off for 8 there or waits.
I guess if you have it, you just go like 8/8. Like knock the
You
top
should
or
have
whatever.
if he had it, it was correct to do it that turn because he has things
Now
like
he's
Obliterate.
now he's just dead on board. If that was Flame Blast, that could have lost him the game. But again, we're talking about double Flame Blast, which is very fringe. And now if he has he is champion. So if it was Flame Blast, we could find out. But I guess we would never know. Because I mean, he wouldn't Flame Blast now. You wouldn't Flame Blast the Mystic Ascendant, right?
I think you'd have to.
Really? I would just accept. Oh, it's Obliterate. Okay, but it's going face.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, he's presenting this idea that like he's not dead on board, and that maybe he can combine like this with either another Obliterate or a Flame Blast to push through the last bits of lethal. I mean, the champion will push 4 damage unless there's 2 blockers, 5 if there's no blockers. So that puts him down to 4 or 5 respectively.
It's very awkward because the combination of Overwhelm and Deadly means that Aryth does have one more chance to win. He can't present lethal. Smoonay, I mean, because he just blocks Seraph, takes 10, goes to 1. Mystic Ascendant alone puts him at 3, and then he has 2 blocks potentially, puts a taking 3, goes to 6, dead to Obliterate, dead to Flame Blast. It's awkward. Yeah. And then even if he wants to hold back, I mean, I think you hold back with the 8/8 because it's a good trade for the champion. Another play you could make, which I don't like this play. Oh wait, actually,
I am in favor completely of just Ace Base. I think right now, like
Ace Base. No. Make Seraph. We just activate Seraph actually, because I was thinking like, oh, we could cast Harsh Roll or something, right? It's like, oh, we can't die, but then I realized that's silly because you're still dead to Flame Blast, so don't. That's just a silly play.
Yeah, you're dead to Flame Blast, but that's still the only out. Like if you're comfortable as Smoonay, like I don't think you Harsh Roll this board. Like I'm positive you don't, but
no, I play around Obliterate. I don't play around Flame Blast. Just because you can beat Obliterate pretty easily. You kill him next turn through Obliterate, so I would just activate and then pass, or you activate, see what it is, and then attack with the 8/8 and then pass.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just like taking the time to consider like what he wants to attack with before he does Seraph. Like he might have already made up his mind that he's not using Seraph and he'd rather attack first.
Well, if you're not using Seraph, what are you doing? You're casting Harsh Roll then, right? Like why would you not use Seraph and then not Harsh Roll?
No. What I'm saying is he might attack first and then use Seraph after. Like he might be deciding if he's going to swing with his Mystic in like the 2/5 or something like that first, and then go ahead and pop the Seraph. So you can't react to the unit that comes out of it. Like you have to decide whether or not you want to make that block.
I suppose I feel like the Seraph, what Seraph hits, lets you know what you should be doing. Oh, that's a good hit. I mean, it doesn't do anything this turn, but that hit makes me want to really makes me want to get to the next turn because that just ends the game.
Yeah, that is definitely looking like it's going to end the.
It's still the same.
He's on Obliterate, Flame Blast is his, like those are the outs he's playing.
Yes,
Or
Soulfire Drake.
No, Soulfire Drake
do
won't
it.
actually.
He goes
do
to
it,
1 because
Yeah.
he can double block. 2 toughness gets in the way. He goes to 1 exactly, and then he kills him next turn. There's no way you block on the Champion of Chaos. You can never win this game if you block. Well, you can Flame Blast, but then it's relevant because you would have won anyways.
Yeah. I think. Well, I mean, I guess there's a little bit of consideration here. Like maybe you hope he doesn't have lands and like you can get around the 6/6.
No,
and
then
like
he has
Seraph
cards.
craps out like a bad minion. I'm just saying, like you maybe
No.
block it. I don't know. Maybe you get the Umbran
can't-
down and then you can like chump block with the Umbrans together. Like,
I can't even.
something.
I can't even entertain that thought that it could be like that. No, there's no way. You just so here. What other principles are there? Yeah, it just comes down to Obliterate. Thanks for the game. Oh man, a little.
Oh
so
no,
good.
he didn't even make him block it.
Oh, didn't make him sweat.
Make him sweat it, man.
I thought that was just BM.
I did too. I was like, oh, the BM, like just dropping it down, like thanks for the game.
Yeah, thanks for the game. Flame Blast. Yeah, so the winner, of course, going to the TJP control deck.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and I guess we're gonna take an extensive look at Smoonay's sideboard plan. I'm gonna go ahead and try and pull up our other player's deck, Aryth, in the background, so we can get like a little bit of information on him with his deck and sideboard. I'm curious as to what he plays. He does, by the way, play 4 Flame Blast in the main. So those were outs.
Yeah, man,
as
never
well
lucky.
as 4 Obliterate.
Okay, so we're looking at his list. This is the 90. This is the consolidated sideboard. So the cards I like looking at this.
So
I assume this with the.
I'm assuming he'll leave in the Lumen. Like I like the Lumen in. You don't need Scourge. Yeah, that's coming out obviously. Do you need Decay? Yeah, okay.
I'm looking at the deck list. Decay looks very poor.
Yeah, Decay looks poor. The only thing it would be good against is the Statuary Maidens, which you can kind of figure probably aren't.
It's not even good against them, honestly. It's just like it's castable. It's not good. So I like Ellen's Flavor a lot. I don't like Lightning Storm. I like Backlash.
What is the entirety of Smooney's sideboard? Let's check it out real quick, just so we get his whole sideboard, since it's hard to tell. He's got 2 Backlash, 4 Decays, 2 Stand-Togethers, 2 Valk Enforcers, a Lumen Defender, 2 Reality Wardens, the Celestial Omen, and the Scourge. So we already saw the 4 Decays come out. I think the Scourge came out. Did he leave Backlashes in? Yeah, well, he's got 1 in. So he split the Backlashes. If he's not playing Valks in the main board, then he brought in 2 of them. Yeah, I don't think he was playing them in the main board. So yeah, he brought in his 2 Valkyries. This will be pretty good. I mean, Valkyrie Enforcer, more silence. Like 6 silences is great. Obviously, when your opponents, all of their death rattle effects are not death rattle.
Entomb, yeah, it's the same thing. They tell us they don't care if we use Hearthstone terms. Everybody played other card games. Eternal's just the best one, but they all came from something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a little bit of opinion. Anyways, what was I gonna say? So, yeah, consulting it. I mean, yeah, the silences in general against these Stone Scar decks are excellent. It almost kills like half their cards. It's just like Soulfire Drake, Umbran Reaper. Like, I mean, the only card they have that's good against silence is Impending Doom. Honestly,
I mean, even like the Cha-Chas, the Champions of Chaos, like those are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like you silence that, okay, it's a 3/3. Like it has no deadly, no +2/+2, no overwhelm. Like
yeah,
okay,
it just gets
you have a 3/3.
Yeah. So all the silence effects are great. I like Eye of Winter a lot because they're pretty threat light. You can stall out a flyer. I like Lumen Defender for the raw life gain. Visage is great. Omen is interesting because it can tutor up these life gain cards. He's looking at 77 right now. He's considering his last 2 cuts. I think it's just Lightning Storm. Like, I really don't like Lightning Storm at all.
He is playing Oni Ronin and Pyro Knights, so maybe that's a consideration for leaving both Storm Zone. Like he's playing a lot of those like bad 1-drops. You probably don't need them, but
you could you could just play 2 Lightning Storms if you want to keep in some, like if you want to keep your opponent honest or whatever.
Sure.
Like maybe if he goes like
the TJP thing we've seen all day, where they just like draw 2 Lightning Storms and like that's 4/4 now, so it's a little better.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that actually. It's been pretty cool, but I like it more in the witch decks. Like
exactly, where you actually have something to go with it.
Yeah, the TJPs were always the one getting double Lightning Storm, not the ones having it.
So, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so I think it's I think he just cut the 2 Lightning Storms. He's still tanking on it.
Yeah,
Um,
I like. It would be nice if we saw iWinner this game.
yeah,
iWinner is
yeah.
huge for his plan.
Also, before they go into the game, really quick about I have a link to his sideboard as well for his opponent, the Stone Scar player. So
Yeah, I
let's
did as well.
yeah. So what do you think of treachery here? Do you like treachery?
I think treachery is,
Eh,
it's okay. Like let's look at Smooney's list really quick. Like, what are you gonna hit with treachery? You're gonna hit Seraph and
Desert
Desert
Marshal.
Marshal,
Desert Marshal's
and
very good.
hit his like one of Ascendant and his Mistveil Drake. But and the Darudes, sure, like you can get the Titans out of the way, but
Wasps. I think treachery seems very good actually. Also has a
it's okay. Like it's decent. Like he has a lot of reactionary cards, so I think it is actually good enough to bring in. You're right. Like that at first, his list looked like there weren't a lot of threats, but yeah, the Wasps are a big deal. Getting Titans out of the way is nice for your flyers. Yeah, I might bring in treachery then. I think you're actually probably right.
yeah.
Uh,
Vara's favor is very trimmable too on the Stone Scar Edge. I guess like it helps you hit your with KO's favor, you could be fine. I mean, I don't
yeah.
know.
I wonder if we will see like the Furnace Mages come in. I'm curious if
Interesting.
we'll see them come in because we don't see like a lot of equipment, obviously, in Smooney's deck, but there is like the main deck, Eye of Winter, Stronghold Visage, Staff of Stories. Like
Yeah,
there are a few targets that it might be worth considering bringing in like one or two of them.
for sure. Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. The three targets for three Furnace Mages is, but the thing about Furnace Mage is that the fail case is a 4 mana 4/3, and while this isn't draft, this is constructed, so it's a bit worse. But honestly, like not that bad. I mean, attacks. I don't know. If you
It's
kill a
another threat.
Titan,
It's another threat on the board. Like you can
yeah,
pull out. You might be able to pull out some of your like worst removal. Like for example, like Suffocates might come out. Would you pull Suffocate? Probably not because you have Chancellor and Combry. So I guess you leave those in, but you can probably make some space in there pretty easily for at least like two Furnace Mages.
well, you're assuming combat healer matters, which I'm not sure. It gains 3 life,
It
but your
doesn't
creep.
necessarily matter, but having a board to attack through, like if your champion is like a 3/3 or he's like the 4/4 but he has overwhelm instead of deadly, like the 2/5 just gets in your way. Same thing with like Argentport Instigator, like the 3/3 just backs into the 2/5. The
Yeah, yeah.
I
Argon
think he was
Port gets a
playing
lot worse.
I think he was playing mainboard Stewards too. Like Stewards are bad against it. Well, no, sorry, no, they're not. They've
Yeah,
what am I
stewards are
saying?
fine.
Yeah,
No,
Stewards.
yeah, but Steward is a more defensive creature than anything. All right, so this is his consolidated board list. He is keeping in all 4 lightning storms, which again, to echo some sentiment about the differences between like Eternal and Magic is again, there's no play draw dichotomy in tournaments. It's always random. So once again, had he lost, had the TJP player won game one, he would be more inclined to put lightning storms in on the draw. But we're not really going to have that. He has to blind shoot.
Yeah, but he is going to take the game though. I mean, I don't necessarily dislike it. Like
I don't
I
know
think
if I like
Lightning Storm
4,
is
but
fine.
I think some number is fine.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 would have probably been fine, but
So we're gonna see how it plays out this game because we see is we don't have Aryth's hand. My apologies, but we do have Smoonay's hand. This is on the low end of keepability, but because the problem is
this is like arguably as keepable as the other hand.
no, it's a bit different because you need to bridge in order to cast Wisdom the Primal, and Wisdom the Elders is the reason this hand would be considerable because it gets you to your sweepers.
Yeah, that's true. You at least have 3. You at least have 3 power, so it's not terrible. But you're assuming you're going to take green on Seek, so you are one short of
I wouldn't take green on Seek. I would just take Primal, and then I would hope to hit green off the top. This is a better hand. Not absurd. Again, once again, the issue is like we have to see what these lightning storms do because my caster's curse guess is that they're going to be terrible.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, there's Pyro Knight.
Yeah,
All
Pyro
right,
Knight. Okay.
all right.
That's
That's a
something.
start.
I just cast it.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, probably. Like, you definitely would have cast it if it was an Oni Ronin. Maybe you can wait because it's like a 2/1.
I guess with Pyro Knight you can wait. Yeah, this kind of echoes our argument about Pyro Knight versus Oni Ronin. Argon Port here, I guess. The curve out.
Yeah, he's got the Instigator. Okay, so
So I guess
such a good card.
no. See, we can't cast Wisdom, so we're gonna have to Wasp away the 3/3. Probably get the Wasp picked off by Torch or something.
Yeah, oh man, it feels so bad to Wasp away the 3/3 though when you know that there's like impending doom sitting in the deck and like stewards and things that are a lot more dangerous than just this 3/3.
So he has Vanquish in hand, so I think Wasping is absolutely fine for Doom. But yeah, I do agree Wasp is valuable. But also he knows from the priority skip there is no there is no instant, there is no torch, no annihilate.
Yeah, I think we saw it there. So yeah, like the impending doom, like you were saying, gets cleaned up by the vanquish, but based on how Aryth's playing, unless he drew a bunch of power, and since you said like he doesn't have combat tricks, no torches, he's got to be holding like a lot of like 4 and 5 power creatures, which the vanquish can only clean up one. The Sandstorm Titan is pretty big though. That will keep the flyers in check on the ground.
Yeah, this becomes a question of whether or not he can answer Titan. I assume he can. I assume he has like Death Strike. No, he's just he must be flooded then.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he's flooded because he's not playing anything. Like,
yeah,
on 5 mana, you can play your whole deck.
Could be obliterates. If he doesn't obliterate the Titan 2 here, he gets punished because he might have to kill it later and it gets backlashed, and that could be like a huge turn.
Yeah, that is very true. We maybe he has the obliterate. I think so. He's got to have some sort of spell, right? Like if he hasn't committed a minion, unless he top decked one.
I would have guessed he would have Death Strike. Yeah, so obliterate goes on the Titan. I don't hate that play. I think it's correct. Like you can't really erase a Titan just by throwing it at face, especially if you assume Protector Backlash could be present. I guess, I guess he doesn't have Protect, but you know what I mean? Yeah, those type of cards. And Visage here locks up the. Well, Champion's good. Champion's good. So 5/5.
This is what I was saying about the Vanquish. Is like the Vanquish has so many targets it has to hit in the deck. Like you have to hit Impending Doom, you have to hit Champion of Chaos, you have to hit Umbran Reaper, you have to hit Soulfire Drake.
Yeah, and this is the Lightning Storm issue. Like, Lightning Storm is a dead card. All it did was
kind of.
kill
I mean, it will kill. It will pick up the Umbran Reapers and it will pick up the Soulfire Drakes. Obviously, Soulfire is going to get in 5 guaranteed, and the effect goes off. But like, it at least does pick them up.
Umbran Reaper gets at 5 as well. Those aren't good exchanges.
Yeah, I mean they're not great, but you might have to. You know, like
top deck Vanquish is strong.
You can only have so many Vanquishes.
Yeah, he only has. I think he only has 2 in his deck list, right? You just drew both Vanquishes.
Yeah, Smoonay's hand, like he's got the Stronghold Visage, so he's at least in place to start making progress. But his hand's really not that attractive. Like he doesn't have particularly much, and that Valken Forcer is going to be better saved, which he will elect to do. He will just kind of let this stall and let the Stronghold Visage.
Yeah, but the problem with this game state is that Smoonay is basically passively winning because
he is gaining life. Like this is putting him like farther and farther ahead, and I think Aryth is at a point where he's drawing a lot of power.
Yeah, he could have obliterate type cards like Flameless or something, but and then the pickup with Mistveil Drake is very punishing too, because double Aegis makes the Drake itself hard to interact with. I guess double Annihilate it. Yeah.
Yeah, that really sucks. But at least it was like you got to use the Annihilates.
Yeah, it's a 1 of 2, so I don't even know if I would be like comfortable. I guess you could sit on your Vara's favors if you had those, and then Titan plus Backlash too means if he wants to play the threat game, it's not going to be able to fight it. And turn 9 Oni Ronin.
Oh, here it comes. Yeah, this is that Backlash on that obliterate we were talking about.
It's a heartbreaker. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty big.
This Oni Ronin's just he doesn't have to chump now, but he will probably be chumping point if he doesn't get Lightning Stormed away.
Yeah, it's just gonna go ahead and Lightning Storm that. I mean, there's really no reason for Smoonay not to just go ahead and fire off the Lightning Storm there.
Yeah, the lack of X4s in the deck means that double Lightning Storm isn't really worthwhile. So I guess the Lightning Storm is really just a hedge towards the 7 1-drops. But I don't know. I just don't feel like it's realistic for Aryth to open on like 1/1/1, like a Jito deck or whatever. Like that's like a nut draw.
I don't think it is either, but I think like I was saying, like the TJP control isn't playing Shadow. Like you don't have the ability to play as much like clean removal. So sometimes Lightning Storm is just I trade this off to get the 5 power unit off the board.
Yeah, it's fair. There's no suffocates. And Desert Marshal, you'd rather use it for the late game cards. Like Desert Marshalling Pyro Knight probably doesn't feel very good, or Oni Ronin. I mean, it's okay, but
no. The problem is like sometimes Desert Marshal doesn't cut it because like we've seen this whole game, like he just doesn't have it. Like sometimes you just need more Desert Marshal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd run like 8 if I could. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the hedge bet with the 2 Valken forces. Like the 2 Valks come in to be like, hey, we've got 6 Desert Marshals now. Obviously not because they don't have ambush, but
God, this is such a good spot to be in for Smoonay. I don't know why he would play the Seraph here. Yeah, he's committing to playing it on 11. I mean, Aryth could just have a power, but for Smoonay's case, he doesn't care. I mean, he's just winning. Every turn is better for him.
Yeah, this game has very quickly gotten out of control for Smoonay. Like he's easily taken this one over.
Yeah, Aryth, his deck just doesn't fight on this axis at all. Like it's impossible for him to fight. And then the Suffocate too makes Seraph take over. Not that it's like really wrong or anything. Because,
yeah, I mean, the Stronghold Visage just put him out of range, and the Misveiled Drake Aegis was like icing on the cake too.
I mean, like how much? What? Oh, Idle Death Run. Copper counter. Okay. Sorry, that was Idle Death Run. You could see it in the void there, but I always assume it's idle if it just dies. But yeah, Arc Important Skater. Yeah, sure, man. Go nuts.
It's last card. Is it like a Death Strike maybe, or wow, Flame Blast? Yeah,
Flame Blast for 10 on Seraph. Great. Oh, it takes out the Aegis. Okay. I mean, he's at 42 life, but other than that, everything's going well.
Yeah, I was curious to see what he was gonna play. He elected not to play anything. I kind of like the Valk Enforcer there actually. Like I get that he's trying to set up for this, which is exactly what happened. Like Aryth top decks another unit. Now he gets a 2-for-1 on the harsh rule. But I kind of like establishing the Valkyrie just to set a clock up. Obviously, this player,
I don't. Oh geez, he's slow playing him. I would have cast the harsh rule. I'd be fine with a 2-for-1. But I'm saying I really don't like casting the Valk. I think you want to go harsh rule 2 creatures, then Valk his 3rd creature, and because the thing is about the Valkyrie and about the harsh rule, like you have so much life, you can just take beats, until he plays a second. And moreover, if he doesn't commit a second creature to play around harsh rule, he's dealing 1 damage in a turn.
Well, it's interesting though because he could drop the Valk Enforcer on the Argenport Instigator, and while he's taking 8 damage a turn, which is then reduced to 6, Aryth is taking 1 damage off the Impending Doom, and every time he swings with the Impending Doom, while he does deal 5 to Smoonay, Smoonay gets 3 on the way back. So he essentially put him on a 3-turn clock by playing Valk Enforcer.
Yeah, it's an interesting point actually. It's a bit of different role assessment. Become the beat down order, but I don't know. Like the burn spells he draws double as removal spells for the Valkyrie. It's just kind of dubious. Like I also think this should have been cast earlier, the harsh rule, but I don't think he's too punished for it.
So I guess here's the big question this turn is like, is he going to harsh rule before he silences, or is he just not going? Because I think there's some weird argument. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure he just goes straight for harsh rule, but I feel like there's almost a weird argument. Yeah, he might take his line of play where he takes Valkyrie Enforcer and silences before he harsh rules. You lose the 3/3, but making sure his units don't have charge is kind of nice.
Well, yeah, they could randomly have flying as well, but I think this might be. Yeah, I might have been. Well, I guess the 3/3 is the clock. Also, he has something we know: Torch, Death Strike. The 3/3 is just there because kill Aryth, right? Is the idea. But the same degree, like, oh yeah, because if he draws like a lot of threats, they could have charge. And also, I believe the way Soulfire Drake works, things that have flying will naturally gain charge. You can't roll flying on flyers.
I've never tested it, but I am inclined to believe that is the way it works.
Yeah,
so all of his Umbran Reapers and things like that will have charge on them.
Yeah, Eternal is full of like situations where they like ignore feel bad. So you'll play like Elysian Trailblazer, right? And you'll hit a card with Echo. So what it'll do is it'll skip that card and go to the next card. So you won't waste your Echo on it. So I assume it works just like that. Like it won't.
Yeah, I would have to imagine it works.
Yeah, we got confirmation from like a Reckoner that it works like that. So you're seeing a kind of interesting game because now there is a crack chance that with insane draws, Aryth could, just draw like, let's say he drew like Umbran Reaper.
Umbran Reaper charge, not bad, except for the Desert Marshal.
Yeah, Desert
Marshal. If Smoonay hadn't picked up Desert Marshal here, that would have been nice. Like the 5 health swing would have been.
That would have been excellent. Big. Yeah, it would have been a 10 health swing because I assume he would have lightning stormed it to hold the Wasp for something else. No blocks.
I'm not too surprised by that. Smoonay knows he gains 2 health a turn, so he's only losing 3 a turn right now. And Aryth is at 7. He dives with the Desert Marshal in 4 hits. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like I said. I guess about role assessment. Like even though you are the control deck and you do have the inevitable life gain engine running, like you might as well just kill the guy. You
I mean,
gained like four.
even by doing this, like if you notice, by establishing like the 5 damage of lethal there, had he not had the annihilate, like he forces the 5/1 to stop attacking anyway. Like Aryth has to become the defensive deck, not to just die. And then the minion just trades off pretty poorly anyway. Like it would have just traded into a 2/1, and it probably still will in all likelihood.
Jeez, Seraph. I'm pretty sure you can hit like what's her name, like Jin armor, and that one win the game. District infantry. It's pretty poor, but there are probably hits with Seraph that just win the game, right?
It's hard to say anything in Seraph that like immediately buffs everybody. Can't think of much, but as we see here, like Aryth just doesn't have enough blockers. Like Smooney's got him on
it was
overwhelm.
interesting. He kind of made a game out of it, and I think it was mostly because I think Smoonay was being a bit vindictive there by not casting the harsh impending doom plus Argenport, right? Is that really not good enough when you have Lightning Storm as well and all these other cards?
I think Smooney assessed it that he felt he could wait long enough in the matchup, and he wasn't wrong. And his greed to some extent was like paid off. Like, suppose that wasn't a Soulfire Drake, suppose it was an Umbran Reaper. Like, oh man, how sweet is that? Like, yeah, you get the 5-point life swing, but like you just wreck his board. Like he just loses everything, and you just did it for one card. You saved the 2 lightning storms. You saved the second harsh rule. Once he had the second harsh rule, which he might have had from the. I don't think he had from the get go. I think he picked it up. I think at that point, yeah, you're probably getting a little greedy not to just fire it off.
Yeah, he picked it up after that turn, but I think he went one turn. I'm trying to remember exactly. I don't know. Honestly, it was kind of mind numbing. You're just like, he just gained like 46 life. Anyways, we can't talk for too long because we're about to do the like I think we have like a top 8 wrap up incoming, and then the actual top 8. So we're gonna go.
Yeah, we are going to have we're gonna have the highlight reel. J Knight went ahead and made a really sweet Eye of Winter Cup highlight reel from when that took place on the 31st. Coincidentally, Smooney, who just won that round, actually won the Eye of Winter Cup, unless I'm mistaken, with Xenon Killers. So we're going to go ahead and go to that instead of you guys hearing us banter on about Cerso making Cannibal Pig Bacon again.
Okay, yeah.